What's going on, guys? Welcome to Loveshack Entertainment, and today we are bringing you a deck profile video. So, I did a Guardians Rising opening, and I talked about how much I love the set. I think there's so many cool decks that are going to be sort of working their way into the meta as a result, and one of those decks being the Water deck. Specifically, I like the Alolan Ninetales. I think the art is awesome, but more importantly than that, I think the card is really cool in the sense that, no pun intended, by the way, in the sense that it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent and has a really powerful GX move. So this is my take on an Alolan Ninetales, Water variant. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. I will apologize because it's been a while since I've done filming, especially for deck profiles, and the way my current situation is set up, I do not have a camera tripod on me, so I am filming this sort of makeshift, which is why the view is not all that great. So, to start things off, two Alolan Ninetales, which, you know, is pretty self-explanatory. Unfortunately, only one of the rainbow. The card itself is really good. Its GX move puts pressure on the opponent because it can, basically, if you don't knock it out, do 210, it can move all its damage counters onto you, and that could be pretty devastating. So, I played two of those and three Alolan Vulpix. Alolan Vulpix can attack without having to use any energy for its beacon attack, which lets you search your deck for up to 2 monsters and puts them into your hand. And then its Icy Snow attack, which I never really use, is just 20 damage for 2 colorless. So that is the, you know, Vulpix to Ninetales ratio. I go 2 to 3 because I think if you open Vulpix, it's pretty solid to get your plays set up. I never really find that I need more than 2 Ninetales, although I could understand if you wanted to go a 3 and 3 ratio. So 1 Palkia EX for Breakthrough, card's really good. Earlier in the game, too, it can kind of thin your deck and load up your Pokemon with energy. And not to mention, it's 220 with Fighting Fury Belt, so it's pretty solid just to kind of hold the board a bit. I'm going to get a little criticism for this one, but I do apologize. So 2 Manaphy EX, one of them's a proxy, unfortunately. I had accidentally spilled something on the one I had to order another one. It has not come in yet, but I figured I wanted to do the video anyway. So, 2 Manaphy EX, any Pokemon with water energy do not have a retreat cost, so it's really good. It's, you know, not going to do much else other than sit on the bench. The only reason I really do play 2 is because if it gets Lysandered in, it can get knocked out pretty easily, and then you're sort of in a tough spot. So, you know, just 2 to be safe as far as that goes. 1 Tapu Lele, which is from Guardians Rising. Basically, search any supporter in the deck. Also has an X-Ball style move. And then 1 Taurus GX because it is a ridiculously good pressure card. And it works even better with Ninetales because it just, you know, having both of those, your opponent really has to pick wisely about their attacks. 2 Lapras GX. I want to bump this to 3. I just don't know what to take out, so I'm sort of running with 2 for the time being, and I'll sort of play it by ear, and I am definitely planning to bump it up because it's just way too good of a card. Its GX move has won me games, especially against decks like Darkrai, because you can basically freeze them if they don't have an escape rope, and next turn you can hit for 160 with Blizzard Burn. It basically sets up for a 2-turn knockout there. And then 1 Shaman because it's, you know, pretty self-explanatory. Really good card. I don't think more than 1 is necessary, especially with the advent of Tapu Lele in this deck. So that is the reasoning behind only playing 2. So the deck is very trainer-heavy, which, I mean, is, I guess, the case for a lot of decks nowadays, but in this case specifically because I want to be able to thin the deck and get off as many plays as I can in the most effective of facets. So, triple max elixir. The only thing is you can't use it on Ninetales, but everything else in the deck you can use it with. It thins the deck, it speeds you up, in conjunction with the 4 Aqua Patch, which is just a really good card. Attaches a water energy from your discard pile to one of your bench water Pokemon. This card just adds so much to what you're able to do as far as the deck goes, and just can kind of help you, even with stuff like Ultra Ball, to not only get your play set up, but to establish a dominating presence early on, which makes it hard for your opponent to come back. 3 Dive Ball, searches any water, so it's basically just deck thinning and gets me access to whatever I need. And then 2 Ultra Ball. The reasoning I'm going just 2 here is because I think Dive Ball in and of itself works a little bit better because it searches almost everything in the deck. But Ultra Ball still does allow me to discard, and more importantly than that, does allow me to get out Shaman and Tapu Lele. So that's pretty important from that perspective. Triple Professor Sycamore. Amazing card, basically a staple. I'm only going with 3 here because I tend to draw it way too much. It clogs in my hand and it's mind-numbingly painful. It's a really good card. I don't think I really need to explain much about it. 2 Lysander, just a game winner. Card's really good. I do expect it's going to get rotated out and probably not get another print because it's just kind of arguably overstayed its welcome. 2 Enhanced Hammer, so this card is just really good, especially at outing double colorless, but also double dragon energy, so against Mewtwo, Darkrai, etc. It just has a really good matchup. I really like the card, and I decided to bump it up to 2 because I do feel as though it's really useful more often than not. 3 Trainers Mail to thin the deck. Again, pretty self-explanatory, pretty standard regardless of your build. Triple Versus Seeker, really good card. I don't really think I need 4. I think 3 is fine, so that's why I go with that. 2 Choice Band, really good card. Arguably, you know, on par with Fighting Fury Belt, depending on the deck you're playing. I can equip this to Ninetales, which is, you know, a big plus. 1 Fury Belt, because there are a lot of GXs in the deck I can utilize it with. And then 1 Float Stone, which is more or less redundant because Manaphy, but sometimes you can get locked early on and you want to be able to clear it. 1 Brooklet Hill, really good stadium. In addition to just kind of helping with setup early on, it lets you go ahead and, you know, out your opponent's stadiums if there's like Parallel City or Skyfield or whatever you're up against there. As does Field Blower, which is really good. Love this card. I think it's going to be awesome. I think the fact that I don't have to play Delinquent anymore, meaning I don't have to waste my supporter for the turn, means this is really useful. 1N, I don't know how I feel about it. I was going to bump it up to 2, possibly. I'm pretty okay with the 1, though. Really haven't found myself in a scenario where I needed all that drastically because I don't want to put stuff back in deck. I want to put stuff in grave. And then 1 Rough Seas, just for healing, and of course the 1 Skyla. So basically standard as far as that goes. And finally, for the energy, 2 double colorless. This works with Ninetales and Tapu Lele, Shaman. Pretty much it, but it's definitely not terrible to have because it does open me up for more plays. And then I think it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 water energies right now. So that's basically what I'm going with as far as basics. Thinking about cutting it down to 10, but the other thing is that it does kind of become a necessity as far as, you know, Max Elixir, Aqua Patch, and you want to have a bunch. So I think you could get away with cutting it a little bit, maybe even to add an extra Shaman or another N, which is something I'll have to toy around with. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time right here at Loveshack Entertainment. Bye-bye.